All rise. We will obey. Please be seated. We have a suspension.
Thank you very much, and welcome back, everyone. Witness, welcome back from Nairobi. I understand that arrangements have now been made, and you were provided with a hard copy of your statement. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. I was provided with the statements on a screen.
What is the white paper I see on the table?
It's just blank paper, Your Honor.
All right, so he was not provided with a hard copy of his statement.
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's go into private session.
We're in open session, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Now, I'd like the court officer to display to the witness page 00840245, please.
Mr. Garcia, page 0245 is in front of the witness.
Now, Mr. Witness, when we left off before the lunch break, we were going through different titles, different sections of this 17-page statement, and I was asking you certain questions. I'm going to go through that same exercise once again with the remaining portions of this statement. Now, if you look at this page, at the bottom half, there's a title, and it says 27th to 29th of December 2007, and I'm referring to paragraph 57. Now, paragraph 57 reads, on 27th December, I woke up early the next day and went to, and it says the name of a voting station. And that voting station is on your PIS document at number 1. And number 2, actually, of the locations. Now, can you tell us whether you did give or not, or did you or not provide that information to the OTP?
I did not provide any information to the OTP.
Let me ask you the question. Let me ask you this question. On the 27th of December, did you or did you not go to the voting station that's indicated to cast your vote?
I went to the station to vote, but I never provided the information to the OTP.
Now, do you have any idea, Mr. Witness, on how the OTP would have known that information?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Now, it continues, it was very silent. Is that information that you provided to the OTP?
I never provided any information about voting day to the OTP.
Now, if we go to paragraph 58, it says the day after election, I was at a certain place. Do you see that sentence? Is that information that you provided to the OTP or not?
Which information are you talking about, Your Honor?
No, I just for the record, I noticed that counsel for the witness, I'm not sure if he is speaking with the witness or he's saying something to the witness. Difficult for me to notice.
Mr. Garcia, the counsel is not saying anything.
Thank you, court officer. Now, witness, I'm speaking about paragraph 58, bottom of page 0245. Do you see that paragraph?
Yes, Your Honor, I see.
I'm referring to the first sentence. It says, the day after the election, I was at, and I'm not going to say the place. Do you see that sentence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, my question is, did you provide the information in that first sentence to the OTP or not?
Not, Your Honor.
Is the information in that first statement, in that first sentence, true or false?
I don't know, Your Honor, because I never provided such an information.
I understand, Mr. Witness, that you didn't provide that information, but the question I'm asking you is whether on the 28th of December, the day after the election, were you at the place that's indicated in the first sentence?
No, Your Honor, I was at home.
Now I'd like to go to page 0246.
We are on page 0246.
Now, Mr. Witness, there's a title at the top of the page. It's 30 December 2007. Do you see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, paragraph 60 says, and I quote, on 30th of December, I saw Ruto on TV at the KICC telling Kivutu not to release the results, and Kivutu refused. Now, that first sentence, the information that is in that first sentence, did you or did you not provide it to the OTP?
I never provided to the OTP.
Now, did you provide, were you indeed looking at the KICC, looking at the TV station, looking at what was going on at the KICC during the results, during the release of the results?
At my home, I don't have a TV.
Let's go to paragraph 61, Mr. Witness. It says, and I quote, immediately after the announcement, the name of a person convened a meeting. Now I'll let you read that sentence, and I'll ask you whether this is or not information that you provided to the OTP when you met with them.
I did not provide such an information.
Now, do you know whether this was indeed true or false? Did the person, name of which I'll not mention, did this person convene a meeting after the announcement of the election results?
I don't know the person, Your Honor. Neither I don't know the meetings.
Was there a meeting in this place immediately after the announcement of the results?
I don't know whether there was a meeting away from my home, but within my home, I never saw any meeting.
Now the next sentence, quote, says, this person said, yeah, I've heard the results, you know it was stolen. We have to make sure that the Kikuyu are not here. Did you or did you not provide that information to the OTP?
I did not provide, Your Honor.
Now, to your knowledge, Mr. Witness, did you ever hear that being said by anyone after the announcement of the election results?
No, Your Honor, I never heard anyone saying.
Now, I'd like you to go down in the same paragraph 61, line 7, and it starts with, at 5:30 p.m. Do you see that sentence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I'd like you to read that sentence. It finishes with near the center. Now, did you or did you not provide the OTP with the information that's in that sentence?
I did not provide the information, Your Honor.
Now, to your knowledge, is this true or false?
I don't know, Your Honor.
The next sentence reads, and I quote, this meeting was held on the farm of, name of a person, who was a different man, who I mentioned earlier. Do you see that sentence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, is this information that you provided to the OTP or not?
Not, Your Honor.
And today, can you tell us whether you ever heard about a meeting being held on the farm of this person at that time?
I never heard of any meeting held.
I'd like you to go to paragraph 63 of that same page, Mr. Witness. First sentence reads, the chairman was, and it's number 9 on your PIS sheet, was the chair of all the meetings at a certain place. Now, can you tell the court whether this is information that you provided to the OTP or not when you met them?
Not, Your Honor.
Now, the name of this person, I'll not say it in public, but had you ever...
Wait 1 second, please. All right, there's a repetition 20 and 21. I think 21, line 21 was what the witness actually said. Isn't it? And not 20.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes. So there's line 21. Not, Your Honor, was what I heard the witness say. So continue, Mr. Alicia.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Witness, the name of that of the person that we see at paragraph 63, and you can find the name of that person at number 9 under the title of individuals in your PIS document. Do you know who this person is?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever heard of this person before today?
No, Your Honor.
Now, the next sentence reads, and it's another name.
We normally trained.
Second sentence is, however, the youth needed training as bows and arrows are not used every day. Is this information that you provided to the OTP or not?
Not, Your Honor.
Is it correct, or is it true that the youth did need training?
I don't know, Your Honor, because I've never been there for the training.
It says, in my family, third sentence, in my family I went through the ritual and my children went through the ritual. Is this information that you provided to the OTP or not?
No, Your Honor.
Is the information correct? Did you indeed go through the children and your children as well? Through the ritual and your children as well?
It's only me who has undergone the ritual, but not my children.
Paragraph 67, Mr. Witness. Once again, it refers to person number 9. It says person number 9 put 2 men with military training in charge of the training the youth. Is this information that you provided to the OTP or not?
Not, Your Honor.
Second sentence says the 2 men are, it gives the name of one person, an ex-soldier, and another person, a soldier. Is this information you provided to the OTP or not?
Not, Your Honor.
Now, in reference to this first person, first name, right after the 2 men are the first name, is this someone that you recognize? Is this someone that you're familiar with?
No, Your Honor.
Is it the first time today in this court that you hear about this person's name? Hear this person's name?
Yes, Your Honor.
So before today, you'd never heard this person's name?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about the second name? Were you familiar with this person's name at the time you gave the statement?
No, Your Honor.
Is it the first time today in this court that you hear this person's name?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like you to go to the next page, page 0248, Mr. Witness.
Page 0248 is in front of the witness.
Now, Mr. Witness, I'd like to direct your attention to 31st of December, 2007. Do you see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now it says, I returned, the first sentence of paragraph 74 says that I returned to the meeting place at 6:30 a.m. Is that information you provided or not to the OTP when you met them?
Not, Your Honor.
So is that information true or false?
By then I was at home, Your Honor.
You were still at home on the 31st of December 2007?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, when I asked you this question before and we were on the topic of how much time you spent at home, I believe you told the court that you were at home from the 26th to the 30th after the announcement of the election results. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So did you go out after the election results and then go back home on the 31st? Is that your position?
It was just going to get something in the shop and then back home.
All right. Well, did you hear of a meeting occurring on the 31st of December 2007 in your region?
No, Your Honor.
A meeting involving about 300 or 400 people. Did you hear anything about that?
No, Your Honor.
If we look at the second sentence on paragraph 74, I quote, it says, "I went back by myself, point." And then it continues, everybody that was there the day before was already there. Now, those two sentences, the information in those sentences, is that something you provided to the OTP or not?
Not, Your Honor.
Now, if we look at the fourth sentence of paragraph 74, starts out with person number 9, told the village elders to find out who is missing from the group. Did you ever give that information to the OTP when you met them?
No, Your Honor.
The next sentence says, the elders did so and gave out the names to person number 9. Did you ever report that information to the OTP?
No, Your Honor.
Next sentence says, immediately after the names are given, youth were sent to go and get anybody who was missing. Did you ever give that information to the OTP?
No, Your Honor.
And the last sentence says, anybody who was missing was considered to be a traitor or a PNU supporter. Do you ever remember having given that information to the OTP when you met them?
No, Your Honor.
I'd like to go in private session, Your Honor, for 5 minutes.
Private session.
We are in open session, Mr. President.
Now, Mr. Witness. Now, Mr. Witness, did you attend any meeting on the 1st of January 2008? Any meeting or any gathering?
No, Your Honor.
What about on the 2nd of January 2008? Did you attend any meeting, any gathering?
I never attended any meeting or gathering.
Where did you spend the day on the 2nd of January 2008?
I was busy at home looking for my animals.
And on the 3rd of January 2008, where were you?
Still, I was at home.
Now, Mr. Witness, I'd like to clarify one matter before I go on now. If you look at page 0252 of your statement, do you see that page before you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, it contains a section that says witness acknowledgement. And it says, this statement has been read over to me in English language and is the true to the best of my knowledge and recollection. I have given this statement voluntarily to write.
I can't remember exactly what I was told to write, but it was on the content that was given to me.
Just before we continue on that, when did that happen exactly? I understand that you read the statement, it took you 2 hours, went outside, made a phone call, came back in. You're not sure about when you signed the statement, I understand from your testimony now, but when When did you write this handwritten? Do you remember that?
I don't clearly remember, Your Honor.
Well, the interview, Mr. Witness, lasted from the 8th to the 11th. That was 4 days. Was it on the first day, the second, the third, the fourth? Was it on the last day before you left?
During that time, Your Honor, I could not indicate what time are we doing what, because most of the time I was so much interested on the offers I was given. That's where I concentrated much on that.
Mr. Witness, my question is quite simple. I'm going to try and situate you even more. You say that on the second day you were presented with a statement and you had a chance to read it for 2 hours. Was it before?
I think, to be fair to the witness, he's made it so plain that he's unsure of the day.
One more time.
Mr. Witness, now I understand that on the second day you had a chance to read your statement for 2 hours. Now, did you write this handwritten material before reading the statement or after reading the statement? Are you able to answer that?
It was after the statement.
After reading the statement. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did it happen hours? Did it happen minutes, hours, or a day after reading your statement that you wrote this handwritten material?
It took a lot of time writing.
Did anyone ask you to write?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, was it without mentioning names, was it the investigator or the lawyer? Who told you to write something handwritten?
Your Honor, among the two persons who are inside, I don't know who is the lawyer and who was the investigator, but one of them told me to write.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Witness, the lady was the lawyer and the man was the investigator. So which one of either of them? Was it the man or the lady who asked you to write the handwritten material?
The man.
And can you tell us, what did the man tell you to write?
To write about what I read in the statement, to look, it was written by me, because they wanted my handwriting.
So, Mr. Witness, just so we're clear on the record, the man, the investigator was there, told you to write down, handwritten, what you had read in your statement. The statement that we've been looking at all morning, all day actually.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that it? Did he tell you to write anything else?
No, Your Honor. It was only that statement.
So the investigator told you to write only what was in the statement that you had read. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you do as you were asked to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
And where did you write all this information down, handwritten?
Repeat your question, Your Honor.
Where did you write all this information down? The information that the investigator allegedly told you to write down, handwritten? Where did you put this information? Did you have something? Did you have paper? What did you write it on?
The information I wrote was just from the script that was already printed and shown to me to read it.
Now, I understand that, Mr. Witness, but what did you write? Where did you write this information? Did you have paper for that? Where did you write it?
I was given a notepad to write on it.
Who gave you the notepad?
The investigator.
So the notepad, just so we're correct and we're clear on the record, was not yours. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how much time did you take to write down all this handwritten material, all this handwritten?
It's quite a long time. I can't remember how long it was, but I took some time.
Well, do you remember if it was a question of hours? Did it take you a day? Can you give us an estimate on that?
About hours.
And do you recall, Mr. Witness, where this happened? Were you in a particular place without naming the location? Were you writing this, or was that in the same place where you met the investigator and the lawyer?
Repeat your question, Your Honor.
Now, when you were writing all these things on the notepad that was given to you, was this in the presence of the investigator and the lawyer?
Yeah, it was in presence of the investigator.
Now, I'd like document 0084 0256 to be shown to the witness.
What tab, if it is in your bundle?
Tab 9, sorry about that, indeed.
Document Ken OTP 0084 0256 is presented to the witness.
Now, Mr. Witness, you see the first page of what seems to be a notepad. We have it here in the courtroom as well. Is that indeed your handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor. It's my handwriting.
And if you look at page 0256 and examine the content briefly, is this the information that you wrote down at the time?
Yes, Your Honor. This is the information I wrote down.
I'd like to go to page 0257.
I take it this is all inside the courtroom. It is confidential? Okay.
It is page 0257, Mr. Witness. Do you see that before you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, just examine the information. Is that also information that you wrote down at the time? Now, Mr. Witness, that is your handwriting, I understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And from the brief examination that you've done of the content, that is the information that you wrote down, time that according to your version of events you wrote it for the OTP, is that correct?
I wrote this information there, Your Honor, during that day when I met OTB.
Now let's look at page 0258. It's the next page. Is that your handwriting again? 0258.
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0259, the next page. Is that once again your handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0260, is that your handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next page, 0261. Is that your handwriting as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0262. Is that your handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0263. Is that your handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0264. I see just one thing written at the top left-hand corner. It says 25th. Is that your handwriting?
It's not clear in my script, Your Honor.
Let's move on to the next page. Page 0265. Is that your handwriting that we see on that page, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0266. Is that your handwriting we see on that page?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0267. Is that your handwriting we see on that page?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0268. I see there are two words on that page. Is that your handwriting as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 0269. Is that your handwriting as well, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
And finally, the last page, 0270, which seems to be the cover. Is that your handwriting with numbers? Some of them seem to be crossed out.
No, Your Honor.
Let's look at page 0269, Mr. Witness. What's that information that's found on that page?
Mr. Garcia, 1 second, please.
The discussion that's happening with the court officer centers around what appears on the screen. It's blacked out. What appears on my own screen, I do not know if that's the same for everyone in the courtroom. Defense counsel, do you have unredacted version? You have unredacted version. And prosecution?
Unredacted as well.
On your screen?
Yes.
But my screen has redacted version, but I have the bundle unredacted. So we want to make sure that, Ms. Tumai, that what is being shown to the witness on location has an unredacted version. Is that the case?
Yes, Mr. President, we have the unredacted version.
All right. So we can continue.
Yes,
it looks like I was the only one who, or the judges.
Actually, Your Honor, no. I noticed that my colleague was looking in Ringtail, and that's why the unredacted. But indeed, we have an unredacted version.
Yes, now we do. Okay, good. But it does. The defense counsel had unredacted, and I'm sure if they had redacted, they would have raised the matter. So they had the unredacted, and Ms. Tumai said that the witness also had unredacted. So that's now cleared up.
Now, Mr. Witness, I've asked you, what do you see on that page 0269? What's that information that we see there?
The registration.
Can we go into private session, Your Honor?
A private session.